Alicia Nelson, it's KSPK's Grizzly Connect, and it is a hopeful day for the Adams State Grizzly cross-country teams. Bryant Johnson with you for hopefully a day where national championships will be brought in twos, men, the women. Nice way to start the day for an ASU team that's in Joplin, Missouri, dropping down about 7,000 feet from Alamosa to Joplin. Do we make too much about elevation in settings like this and making the move to Missouri and playing at sea level?
No, it's always fun when we train at such high altitude. You work so hard, and then you go down to sea level, and you feel so good. So, I mean, it depends on the person, but it's a fun experience. So.
Well, you've had a dominant year, and it's funny because we go back to September when the preseason RMAC awards come out, and I've been in the media for 5 years, and I've realized I never want to have anything to do with preseason because nothing good comes out of preseason awards. Kelly Lamb won the RMAC preseason Women's Runner of the Year award. Definitely your resume stacked up a little bit higher, but two Adams State players, two Adams State runners, obviously the most talented in the conference. What was your reaction when everything came out in September?
You know, it's kind of one of those things where you don't really pay attention because it's what you do in the season that counts, but I was glad it was Adams State for sure, and it wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, your performance has spoken for itself. It's kind of what you've always said, and knowing that you had a number 2 finish last year and being right there for an Adams State team that didn't win a national championship, but you've got an entourage this year. You've got support from Sarah and Alyssa and Kelly. When you look at the change from really 3 through 5 and beyond this year, what is the biggest difference?
We have a lot of depth. Our girls have worked so hard, and they're so close, and every meet we pack it up, and it's been a really cool experience to just be on the low and be on the high, and this year we're definitely on the high. So
when we look at the conference and the region, the best teams in all of the country for Division II have been in the RMAC and in the South region. I mean, you had 4 of the top 15 in the RMAC in Springs racing in the conference championships. Coach Martin, every time we've seen him at a public event, has said national championship is our goal, but getting a conference championship will be a huge accomplishment. Getting a regional championship will be a huge accomplishment because of how deep both are this year. What is the focus and preparation for those events done for this moment, prepping for a national championship?
Well, once the championship season starts, it's conference, regionals, nationals. It's our ultimate goal, and every meet we try and get better. So, I mean, it is a good step towards preparing for that, and we take it seriously, but our end goal is definitely nationals, so we've been working hard.
You haven't just snuck by the competition, though, in the RMAC and South Regional Championships. I think that's what's made the biggest noise is that, sure, there is a number 2 team behind you, but the separation has been incredible. Why do you think you've come out and put together your top 2 races of the year in the 2 most pressure-packed settings?
Coach Martin and the girls have gotten me here, and we've worked really hard together, and I think it's just the time of year and to show everyone what we've got. So I don't know.
Well, Tabor and I spoke a little bit about kind of the mutual relationship and support the women can have with the men. How does that play out, and how significant of assistance is it when both teams are striving for the same goal?
It's definitely inspiring. Watching the boys kick butt in their race definitely motivates you to want to do better and to help your team. So.
Well, then you have Augustana basically today that has been the team that we've heard about all season long. They've been ranked number 1 ahead of you. When you're actually lining up at the line, there's teams that are all trying to get that signature conclusion of the year with a championship, but when there's one team that you know is your rival, the one team standing in your way, when you're lining up next to them, any words, anything you hear from them, what is that moment like?
You know, I don't really pay attention to that on the line per se. I think we know that we have to do our jobs in order to win, and lining up against them makes you want to do better and do your best. So it's fun to have competition.
It's Alicia Nelson, Adams State cross country. What's changed about you over the last 4 years? You've had obviously a lot of success, but if you just kind of look at each season personally, academically, from a talent standpoint, what do you think is one thing that's really changed?
I mean, it's hard to narrow it down to one.
That many? Really? Let's go. Let's do a countdown. Let's do a 3, 2, 1. Let's do a countdown.
I've definitely grown a lot from having, coming in my freshman season and really doing well as a freshman, and having those upperclassmen guide me through every season. It's kind of been different for me this year in the sense that I'm helping others and I'm trying to help the underclassmen do their jobs and do my own and just.
Well, it's a bridge. I mean, right now you're kind of crossing those final few steps to the end of your career, but it doesn't end. And that's what we've seen with Tabor discussing Aaron Braun and the influence he's had before this race, and Ryan McNiff. For the women, who have been some of the influential names that have really remained a present part of your life that have participated in Adams State cross country in the past?
You know, it's even the girls that haven't gone on and continued running. I remember all of the experiences I've had with them, and they make such an imprint on your life that you just hold on to those things. So even if they're not competing after college, you remember what they've done and what they helped the team do. And
so when you look at some of the younger athletes and where their potential lies, what do you see in some of those freshmen and sophomore that remind you of what you were like just 3-4 years ago, and what was going through your mind when it was completely overwhelming to be 18, 19 and to be expected to win a national championship?
Well, it's fun to see them grow more than anything. They don't really know what they're capable of, and then when they finally realize that, it's like an amazing thing. So
when did you realize that you were capable of winning a national championship and being the best runner in the nation?
You know, I'm still figuring it out, I think. But after doing well and having people tell you multiple times that, you know, you can do this, then it's kind of when it clicks for you.
We're all about finality in sports. Oh, this is the end. You're a senior. But when you have a chance to win a national championship, I mean, it's just a new leg in another journey. What do you think this moment will say about your career, past, present, and then into the future?
Ooh, I think
we don't end with easy questions here. You know that. This is how many interviews have we done? You know this.
I don't know. This is kind of a way of giving back to all the time that I've had here, and to the people that have helped me get here, like Coach Martin and the team. And it should be a step in the right direction. I think if I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna put it in the right place. So I think that's just kind of.
Well, and what a great way to experience Joplin, Missouri for the first time in Alicia's life. It's National Championship Saturday. My goodness, this is going to be quite the experience. What is your ringtone, by the way? We've had my phone going off on vibrate over here, if you haven't noticed. So what was that, by the way? It's before we end the interview.
Wild ones.
A little Flow Rider and Sia to conclude your interview. She's a national champion. She's an All-American. She is the best runner in the RMAC, and she has great taste in her musical ringtones. Alicia, thank you so much.
Thank you.
A little red in here. This is KSPK's Grizzly Connect. I'm Bryant Johnson.